What's up, everyone? It's your boy Infrar-Ed. Welcome to the Scott Reports. Today I'm bringing you an anime review of Mobile Suit Gundam, Iron-Blooded Orphans, Season 2, Episode 10. Let me tell you, next week and possibly a week after that, it is going down as the power struggle continues, with Rando sending Kujan down to take the fight directly to Tekkadan and Farid. And by doing so, he may have inadvertently, or ironically, triggered a very integral part of the Calamity War that can change the tide of everything. Now, we all know there's two sides to the war, but we've only heard about one side until this episode, and that was Gjallarhorn and the Mobile Suit Gundams that they had. Now we get to see what was on the other side of the battlefield, and it is something very dangerous in the guise of what is called a mobile armor. Now, what the Tekkadan guys found in the mine was called a pluma, and that was like the little mobile worker that they had that they couldn't turn on. They didn't have any information on it. It already looked scary as hell, and they noticed that it didn't have a cockpit to put a pilot in, because we found out that this pluma, was actually a weapon. It's an accessory that goes to the actual mobile armor, which they found out buried in the dirt that they couldn't pull up at the time. This was very important to the war because these mobile armors, number one, they are activated by the presence of a mobile suit. So when Kujan showed up, it was activated. It started going on his rampage. Secondly, again, this was the second side of the war. These things were not piloted by a pilot. They were just robotic and was designed to go out and destroy anything that it was set its path on. And it didn't have any reservations about destroying women, children, humans, or anything because it's not a pilot in it. And this is what Gjallarhorn was fighting against. And they're also very important as far as the Calamity War 300 years ago, because if a member of the 7 stars took out one of these mobile armors, they got a higher rank within the family of the 7 stars. So naturally, Farid wanted to retrieve this thing in order to take the empty seat of the Issue House, because remember, Cardo Issue is done. Is that his true intention though? Because maybe it was just a little bit of he said, she said, going back and forth on the battlefield, but Kujan stated that this is what Farid wanted to do, but McGillis is like, maybe you mistook what I'm trying to do. I'm about 80-20 as far as where he stands on the battlefield. I don't think he's a bad guy anymore, but I still do think that was his intention, because if he takes this thing out, he gets a higher position within the 7 stars. Of course, that's what he wants, but maybe he was saying that you mistook this in order to make himself seem in a better light to everybody around him. So now with the second side of the war being introduced, our guys are kind of up shit creek right now, because there is no grazes, there is no mobile suits or anything around. It is just Rando's faction with Kujan there, and now this awakened mobile armor with the pluma now activating itself as well, or they were able to activate it in the mine, heading towards his destination. It wrecked everything in his path there. How are they gonna get out of this one? Hopefully they got the Barbados coming down in a jet rocket fuel or something to get everybody there to save the day, because these things are going on a rampage and they do not have a human controller. Unless Rando, he seems pretty crafty. He might have something up his sleeve where he might be able to control these things to the favor to attack Tekkadan, but either way, they need to do something soon and they need to do something quick. But on the other side of things, hey, Shino got a Gundam now. Yes, he has the Flavaros, and the first thing that he decided to do was paint it pink, baby. So all of the frontline guys now have a mobile suit, or a mobile suit Gundam, to fight the war. But now you have to wonder, with these mobile workers being so big to the war, I wonder if there's any more out there, because it was a good bit of mystery about these things that was uncovered in this episode, so there has to be more around. I don't think all of them were destroyed, but they did a very good job of letting you know that destroying these things is what stopped the war altogether. What is most interesting, like in every war story, there's always more pieces that don't seem like they're big at first, but they will become an impact later. Mainly being the people within Teiwaz who are not cool with what Tekkadan is doing. In fact, the man who they say is second in command at Teiwaz, I believe his name is Jocelyn Dominicos, he was a person that leaked the information as far as what Farid was doing to Rando's side of Gjallarhorn. So now you have that factor, and it makes me worry for what's going to happen with Naze, because only one or two things are going to happen here, besides probably him dying, is that he's either going to be forced to fight against Tekkadan, or he's going to get absorbed in by Gjallarhorn. They might lose some financials, but either way, now we have another player on the field that's just making things bad for our main characters, because now it seems like every time Miguel has some type of plan, it's always going to be foiled by somebody on the inside. So this is just not good altogether, and it's really not good for Tekkadan, because with Teiwaz going against them, this can easily set up for some type of betrayal, either by Naze, or maybe they'll even decide to assassinate the old man, take power, and drive Naze out. It's going to be interesting to see where things go with this. It was also nice to see that Fumitan has not been forgotten, as Cordelia has decided to open up an elementary school and named it after her in the honor of the person that raised her and took care of her for so long. So it was very good to see a call back to that and to link it all into what's going on with her wanting to take care of these kids, because we found out more about the guys in Tekkadan, as well as they're not spending their money. All they know is war. All they know what to do is to fight. So they're getting their paychecks and just stacking it away, and they're not really doing anything with it, but they still want to make a better life for themselves, and her building this school is going to make a better life for everybody overall. And then there's still some other things out there as well that went on with this episode, mainly with Mikazuki putting in that he doesn't know what he's going to do with himself after the war. He's just there to fight, so he has no plans of what he's going to do when this war is over. He even asked, like, if war was stopped, what's going to happen to me? What would I have to do? And that's a very good question. And I see a lot of people saying there's some big death flags on Mikazuki, and that's not uncommon for Gundam, but I think at the direction that it's going right now, I don't think he's going to die. I think they're just going to make him develop more and more as we begin to see, even though it's subtle, a little bit more feeling coming out of him. Even with him training Hush Media, I mean, he's kind of like, he's annoying, get out of my way, but the fact is that he's doing it, and for the most part, you can probably tell that he's enjoying it a little bit as well. And there's one more thing that I want to mention. I'm usually not big on focusing on animation, but the animation in this episode was a little bit iffy, especially when they were showing Bay Lofter. I mean, sometimes it was just looking like, what the hell is that? And usually, if you see a dip in animation, it's probably because they really are building towards a big mobile suit battle coming soon. And I don't care if they take all the budget to do that. And I never give Sunrise flack for their animation, because if you see this and you think it's bad, then go back to the older days like Gundam Wing, and even before that, when they used to actually recycle actual scenes and do it that way, and they still pump out the quality that they pump out. Again, it is not a bad thing with the animation, because Sunrise is a very good company. They put their foot into these mobile suit series. But it was kind of noticeable this episode, and that's the only other thing I wanted to point out. Again, this was a very solid episode. As always, I really can't say it's been a bad episode of Iron-Blooded Orphans, as it is etching its way into one of my all-time favorite Gundams. Again, the ending is paramount, so it would just depend on how it all ends as far as how high it is. But I can see right now that it is on a very good flow, and it is easily my most enjoyable Gundam since 00. So guys, I'm going to go ahead and end it here. Definitely let me know what you thought of the episode in the comments. If you like this video, go ahead and drop it a like, and if you want to hear more, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, as there is not a shortage of content for you guys to indulge on this channel. And as I always say, you guys can be anywhere on YouTube right now, but you chose to listen to me. And I really appreciate that, so thanks for stopping by. I will try to get Cross out, even if I have to do a live reaction for it at some point today, and I'll see you guys soon. So on that note, it's your boy Infrar-Ed signing out. See you soon.